Yeah, Lynn, till yesterday there was a statement from Trump saying, and we won't delve much about what he's saying because it keeps changing, but this last one, I just want to understand the US stance here. Till yesterday it was a request to France, UK, even China, South Korea as well, and Japan, to come and provide escort services or security in the Strait of Hormuz. Today, that request has turned into a threat. Does it indicate some kind of desperation coming in from the US side, or an admission that they're unable to handle Iran in this Strait of Hormuz?
I think, to be totally frank with you, I think that the Trump administration was not aware or willing to accept the potential consequences of taking action against Iran. I think that their military action last year, along with Israel, against Iran's nuclear program, for instance, puffs them up a little bit about what to expect in the event of a strike against Iran, and a lack of understanding of the very nature of the Iranian regime. As we've discussed before, survival is built into the strategic considerations of the Iranian regime. There is no we can't sugarcoat the nature of this regime, the way it treats its own people, its use of proxies. But it seems to me that the red gaming and the green gaming, neither were taken into account by the Americans before they launched into this unilaterally. There is no suggestion that this was a legal war, and it was only after the fact that Trump came out and said, I was confident that the Iranians were about to strike, as if there had been some undercurrent of that, which, he only came out with that after the fact. So I think that what we're seeing is European and Asian countries that are as reliant as everybody else in the world on Gulf oil, really trying to hedge. The demands, the threats, very typical strategy.
Yeah, they're taking things in their own hand, and that essentially is what Jyotsna and I were also discussing in the newsroom earlier. Macron making that call directly to Pezeshkian. I think more and more countries are trying to establish their own direct line of communication with Iran at this point to get their own vessels safely and securely out of the Strait of Hormuz and their own interests in place.
I think you're right. I think that Macron's call to Mr. Pezeshkian is an indication of the anxiety amongst European and no doubt also Asian states about escalation. Where does this go? Rising oil prices directly hits consumers in every country in the world. So Macron is taking direct action to try and calm things down. France and other European states still see, I think that this is what the call indicates, diplomatic channels with Tehran as essential for de-escalation.
And talking of oil, it's not just the world, but there's calls from U.S. itself. The CEOs of major oil firms such as ExxonMobil, Chevron, and ConocoPhillips, they're also warning that this energy crisis caused by this war is likely to get worse. Is that anyhow is going to hold back Trump? And is Trump going to consider the fact that, okay, there are problems inside America itself that is happening with these American oil executives warning?
Oh, absolutely. The discussions in the American media now, right out in the open, are about oil hitting $200 a barrel. American consumers are very, very sensitive to oil prices, and so is American politics. Now, as we've discussed earlier, Trump is facing the midterm elections in November, with prices at the pump in America and elsewhere already going up 30%. 40% in some places. This is going to really come back to hit him politically, and I think he knows it. And the warnings from the oil executives really have to hit home, and that's probably the reason that he started threatening his allies to come in on it with him. He doesn't want to be left standing alone. He doesn't want to look like the loser. He never does. But the very fact that the oil executives are coming out and warning him of $200 a barrel oil means that this is very, very serious for him politically.